everybody. Welcome to the Business Growth Made Simple podcast. I'm Steve, your host. I was talking to a buddy of mine over the weekend, and then I saw the same question in a Facebook group on Monday. And it's not a new question, nor is it the first time I heard this question. But the question is, how do I get my employees to care about my company like I care about my company? And here's the thing, and for those of you who listen to the podcast a lot, you know I like to keep things direct and simple. And the bottom line is, you can't. You can't make your employees care like you do because you've got all the risk. You've got the mortgage, you've got the name on the line, and they don't. And it's not that it's a problem to fix per se. It's more of a leadership thing. But here's the good news. While you can't make them care like you do, you can absolutely build a team that cares enough to show up, perform, take ownership, and represent your company well. And that's really what you're after. You know, most technician turned owners get stuck here because they've built their businesses on effort. You worked harder. You stayed later. You did whatever it took. And now you expect your team to bring that same level of ownership. But effort, unfortunately, doesn't scale. Clarity does. And this is where we go back to the foundation with what I call the pumpkin plan lens. Your vision, your mission, and your immutable laws. And if your team doesn't care, it's usually not a people problem. It's usually a clarity problem. So let's start with vision. Your team cannot care about a future they cannot see. If your vision is something like grow the business or to be the best in town, that doesn't move anybody. That does not inspire a technician in a hot attic install on a late night or on a late night service call. Your vision needs to answer one question. Where are we going? Well, really two. And why does it matter? If your team doesn't know where the company is headed, they will default to going the minimum required to get through the day. Let me say that again. If your team doesn't know where the company is headed, they will default to doing the minimum required to get through the day. That is not caring because you never showed them where they needed to go. The next we want to talk about is mission. And this is where most owners completely miss the target. Your mission is not what you do, it's who you do it for and how you show up. You know, if you're going to say things like, we do quality work, we provide great service, we take care of our customers, that all sounds nice, but it's completely useless. Here's the problem. Quality means something different to everybody on your team. One technician, quality may mean the system works, it's running. To another, it looks clean, the lines are straight, and I cleaned up after ourselves. How about to another, it means they didn't get a call back. There's no real standard. So everyone does what their own version of good enough is. And you sit there frustrated thinking, why don't they care like I do? Looks like in your company. A real mission answers this. How do we behave every single day, no matter who's watching? It gives your team a filter for decision making. You know, when a technician is standing in a customer's home and something unexpected happens, they don't need to call you. They already know what to do because it's in alignment with your mission. The mission tells them what to do. Now, weak missions would be something like we provide high quality HVAC services. We provide high quality plumbing, electrical. It doesn't help anyone. Now listen to this. Here's a stronger one. We take care of homeowners by doing the job right the first time, communicating clearly, and leaving their home better than we found it. Now we've got something. Why? Because that breaks down into behavior. Do the right thing the first time. No rushing, no shortcuts. Communicate clearly. Explain what you're going to do, what it costs, and what to expect. And leave the home better. You're going to clean up. You're going to respect the space and pay attention to the details. Now, your team doesn't need motivation, they have direction. And here's the shift that you have to make as an owner. You now have to stop asking, why don't they care? And start asking, have I clearly defined what caring looks like? Because once you define it, you can train it. You can reinforce it. You can hold people accountable to it. And without it, you're just hoping people figure it out. And hope is not a leadership strategy. Once your mission is clear, repeat it consistently in your team meetings, ride-alongs, in your hiring conversations, in your performance reviews. Don't assume people remember it. Build it into the rhythm of the business. Your team doesn't need to care more emotionally. They need clear expectations, simple language, consistent reinforcement. And that's how you build a team that shows up and performs. Not through speeches, but through clarity. Now, we've got our vision, we've got our mission. Now we need to put some guardrails in place. What are some non-negotiables? We call them immutable laws. These are your core values. This is where caring actually shows up. This is how we operate no matter what. It's our standards. Could be things like we show up on time. We clearly communicate with our customers. We clean up after every job. We own our mistakes and we fix them. And frankly, people don't rise to vague expectations. They rise to clear standards that are consistently enforced. And this is where most owners unintentionally train their team not to care. You say you want excellence, but you tolerate shortcuts. You say communication matters, but you ignore missed calls. You may say details matter, but you're going to let messy jobs slide. Let's say we show up on time, but you have one or two technicians who are always late and everybody knows it. If you're not calling that out, everybody else is going to follow your lead, good or bad. If you want your employees to care, you need to make 3 different shifts. First, clarity over emotion. Stop saying, I wish they cared more. Again, instead, ask yourself, have I clearly defined what caring looks like? Because care is not a feeling, it's a behavior. It's an action. It's a standard. Secondly, consistency over intensity. You don't need a big speech once a month. You need small, consistent reinforcement every day. Quick conversations, weekly reminders, calling out both the good in front of everybody and the bad behavior behind closed doors in real time. You know, it's funny. I heard this story a while ago. It was actually some marriage seminar, and the guy who was teaching the seminar said, raise your hands, gentlemen, if you think 12 roses given on Valentine's Day is more important to your wife or your spouse than 12 roses given once a month for 12 months. And the majority of the guys' hands went up. And he asked the same questions of the women, and the women 100% said, we would rather get 1 rose every month for 12 months than get a dozen roses once for the year. Consistency over intensity. And third, ownership over control. You don't get people to care by controlling everything. You get them to care by giving them responsibility with clear boundaries. Let them own the outcome, not just the tasks. If you give them a simple problem to solve and they don't solve it the way you would have, but they solve it within the boundaries of your immutable laws and your mission statement, that's a win. Instead of just saying, let's just make sure the job gets done right, how about saying, here's what right means, and the customer understands what we did. We tested the system, the workspace is clean, and we get a 5-star review. That's what it looks like to win. Now they know the standard. Now they can see the target and they can hit the target. And when they hit it, acknowledge it. Again, publicly. Make a big deal out of it. People repeat what gets recognized. If you're going to make a big deal about it in front of everybody, that they did a good job, everybody else is going to see that. And deep down, they're going to want that same recognition. And when they mess up, and they most likely will for a while at least, until things get better and better and better, till you communicate more and more, handle that behind closed doors, not in front of everybody. You don't need to hand out trophies. I saw how you handled that customer. That's exactly what I want to see here. I really appreciate that. It's going to build culture. It's going to build care. You cannot make someone care about your business like you do. It's not going to happen. But you can build a business where expectations are clear. Standards are consistent. People know what winning looks like, and the right people want to be a part of it. And here's the key. Once you build it, the wrong people leave. The team members, the employees that you really are having trouble with, they wind up leaving because they don't want to be part of something that's different than what they do. And really, I don't consider that a loss. I call that an opportunity to find those who are looking to walk alongside you to help you reach your vision. Now, if any of this got you thinking or you have more questions, I want to invite you to check out the website. There's a link below, genesisbusinessstrategies.com. And that's where there's some more resources and links to other episodes to help you grow your business. If you want to reach out with an email, please click on the link in the show notes. Send us an email, send us your questions. I want to help you build with clear vision, simple systems, real accountability, and a team that performs without you chasing them all day long. Because you didn't start your business to be the only one who cares.